Hi, I'm SEIDS. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to finish last week's video of how to produce a demo in Logic from start to finish. If you haven't watched last week's video, I recommend you watching that first here. Okay, let's jump right into adding layers. This is how we can fill up the sonic spectrum, and some ways you could do it is adding octaves. So here are some of the layers I added. Let's just listen to them. So that was for the first ear candy, and this is the layers I added for the second ear candy. Let's listen to them. And then I added one more melody behind here with an arpeggiator. I basically just took the chords and I threw on this arpeggiator in Logic, and I just messed around until I found something I liked, and this is what it sounds like. Sometimes I hate me too. You hate me, I get it. Sometimes I hate me too. You hate me, I get it. Sometimes I hate me too. You hate me, I get it. Sometimes I hate me too. I also doubled the clap with another clap, which you can see here. Listen to it. Sometimes I hate me too. You hate me, I get it. Sometimes I hate me too. So look for ways that you can add layers and find sounds that will complement each other to fill up the sonic spectrum. Now let's talk about transitions. I like to put as many of these in as possible to make my song interesting. So first let's talk about adding spaces. I'm going to show you a few examples of what it sounds like without a space. Paint the whole dang town, but honestly, and now with the space. Paint my flaws like you wish you can paint the whole dang town, but honestly, I'm starting to think you're. And one more time, an example without the space. Hear my name. You hate me. And now with the space. Naturally, you get so annoyed whenever you hear my name. You hate me, I get it. Sometimes I hate me too. So you can see with that alone, it adds so much to the track. Now let's talk about adding reverse cymbals. So I just like to find any loop, any cymbal. I'm going to look into the Logic loops because why not? They are free, copyright free and available to you. I like this one. Now I'm just going to drag that in, go over to the region section, and click reverse right there. And bam, line it up, and this is what it sounds like. But honestly, I'm starting to think you're upset. Then what I like to do is add one more and keep it the normal way so it kind of sounds like a wave. This is what it sounds like. Down, but honestly, I'm starting to think you're obsessed with me. Bullying for you comes naturally. And I just like to add a few of those or whatever makes sense for the track. Now let's talk about adding reverse reverbs and keys. So quickly I'm bouncing the keys into place, which you can see there. And now what I'm going to do is zoom in and make sure I chop them up on each individual chord. So I'm going to do that with my right mouse click because it's on my scissor tool. So I'm just chopping them up, and then I'm going to reverse them, going over to the region section, and now this is what they sound like. I'm going to add a small fade so they don't click at the end. And that's just a really cool way to add some dimension to the track. So now I'm going to create a new track. So I'm just right clicking there and do new audio track. I'm going to hold down Option and drag down the first chord, and then I'm going to unreverse this, and then I'm going to throw on a reverb. You can throw on any reverb you like. I'm just going to throw on a stock Logic reverb, which is over in the reverb tab. I'm throwing on Space Designer, and basically you just want to make this length like pretty long and pretty wet, and then you can listen to it until you find something you like. Once you find something you like, you can press Command B to bounce the track in place. So here I am doing it. Now I'm going to press OK.
And here we have the track with the reverb on it. I only want to use the end of it, so I'm just going to zoom in, chop it up, delete that part that I don't need, and then I'm going to reverse it, and I'm going to line it up so it'll sound like this.
Every chance you get, you hate me, I get it. Sometimes I hate me too.
And one more example.
Stay sad too. You hate me, I get it. Sometimes I hate me.
Let's talk about adding fills. So there are multiple ways to do this. You can do this with Step Sequencer by doing it like this. A new track and then going into Step Sequencer and just start building stuff you like. This is what I messed around with.
Stay sad too. Stay sad too. Sad too. Stay sad too. Sad too.
Or you can use the Logic Drummer, which is a cool way. So just right click and then I do a new drummer track. This pops up. I can delete all the other ones. And then just start messing around with things until I get something I like.
Stay sad too. Stay sad too.
Now let's talk about adding some textures. So I love these that fill out the sound. They're kind of like drone sounds, and I like using Alchemy in Logic. This is a stock Logic plugin. And I'm just messing around until I find something that I like, and I'm pretty much just going to hold out one note of this soundscape or this texture.
First off, it takes a lot of nerve to sabotage a stranger you don't know. You paint my flaws like you wish you can paint the whole dang town.
Now let's talk about adding toppers. These could be like hi-hat fills. These could be like Foley, rhythm, and I'm just going to search some of these in the Logic loops. This is me messing with them. Once I find something I like, I'm just going to drag it in.
Ooh.
And I'm going to go through and fill out the rhythm and maybe flip some stuff, maybe move some stuff around. And I'm even going to find another one in Splice and pretty much do the same thing. So this is one I like, and this is what it sounds like.
Sad too.
Once I'm pretty finalized with my track, I'm going to go through and re-record final vocals. I like to do this because my energy will be different now that there's a full track and not me just singing along with the piano. So that's why I do that. And I like to comp, so I like to take each section and put the looper on or the cycle on, go through, sing it out like I'm doing right now, and then once it reaches the end, it's going to cycle back and I can just do that section over and over again. And then I'm going to go through and pick my favorite ones, which I will show you in just 1 second.
Like you wish you can paint that whole dang town.
So now I have all my individual takes, and I'm going to go through and listen to each one and comp it out.
First off, first off, first off, first off, first off. It takes a lot of honestly. First off, it takes a lot of first off. It takes a lot of nerve to sabotage a stranger you don't know. You paint.
So that's my favorite first off. Now I'm going to go to the next phrase.
First off, it takes a lot of nerve to sabotage a stranger you don't know. You paint my flaws like you wish you can paint the whole dang town.
Okay, so now I'm going to add some harmonies. I'll make a separate long video on how to add harmonies, but I pretty much am doing the third above, and then I've done some doubles, so this is what I have. Let's check it out.
But honestly, I'm starting to think you're obsessed with me. Bullying for you comes naturally. You get so annoyed whenever you hear my name.
And then I also added harmonies on the chorus. This is what it sounds like.
You hate me, I get it. Sometimes I hate me too. You're a sad one, I get it. Sometimes I stay sad too.
And I added harmonies on the second verse.
Are you lonely? Did your love ever turn out to be phony? Are you sick in bed feeling achy? Is that why you have so much time to stalk my life? Cause quite frankly, you are really looking like you're crazy. Something about me just makes you angry, so you scream at every chance you get.
And I just copied the same harmonies for the second chorus. So now I'm pretty much done with harmonies. I'm going to select them all and I'm going to create a summing stack. So you can right click and then go down to create track stack. And I'm going to click summing stack. So now whatever I put on that track, it's going to go into all of them, and I'm just going to throw on a quick tuner. I really like Metatune, so I'm just going to throw on a preset. I am a preset girly, no shame. And yeah, I'm just putting it on, and this is what it sounds like.
Honestly, I'm starting to think you're obsessed with me. Bullying for you comes naturally. You get so annoyed whenever you hear my name.
Okay, so now let's talk about vocal effects. So I have this little breakdown section, and I'm going to drag those vocals down and then lower them an octave so they sound cool. And now I'm going to create one more track and do that again, drag it down, and this time I'm going to throw on a format shifter. The one that I have is called Vocal Bender by Waves, and I'm just going to mess around with the presets until I find something I like. Okay, I love how that sounds, so this is what I have now.
That too.
Okay, now I'm going to show you how to do a very quick mix. I like to open up the mixer in a separate window by pressing Command 2, and then I like to lower everything down. So I'm going to select everything, lower it down, just make sure that the master output is on. I've made that mistake before. And then I'm going to go through and very slowly raise the volume one by one, and yeah, and then I'm just going to kind of like balance the sound.
Sometimes I stay sad too. You hate me, I get it. Sometimes I hate me too. You're a sad one, I get it. Sometimes I stay sad too. You hate me, I get it. Sometimes I hate me too. You're a sad one, I get it. Sometimes I stay sad too.
Okay, and now without further ado, let's listen to the final demo.
First off, it takes a lot of nerve to sabotage a stranger you don't know. You paint my flaws like you wish you can paint the whole dang town. But honestly, I'm starting to think you're obsessed with me. Bullying for you comes naturally. You get so annoyed whenever you hear my name. You hate me, I get it. Sometimes I hate me too. You're a sad one, I get it. Sometimes I stay sad too. Are you lonely? Did your love ever turn out to be phony? Are you sick in bed feeling achy? Is that why you have so much time to stalk my life? Cause quite frankly, you are really looking like you're crazy. Something about me just makes you angry, so you scream at every chance you get. You hate me, I get it. Sometimes I hate me too. You're a sad one, I get it. Sometimes I stay sad too. You hate me, I get it. Sometimes I hate me too. You're a sad one, I get it. Sometimes I stay sad too.
So with this demo, I'm actually going to get it mixed professionally, and I've already done it, and it sounds really good. I'm going to be releasing it soon. But anyways, I hope this inspired you to be able to build your own demos. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be posting a new video every Tuesday, so please subscribe to my channel. See you next week.